This is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Season 5, Episode 2iest edition of the Talon Mix yet. I'm Brian, here as always with my pal Zach. Zach, hello. Did I get everything? It's a Smallville recap podcast.
Yeah.
We did it. How are you? It's been a day. Day, dude.
I'm considering building a barn. Will you help me raise it?
No, I won't do that. Not without superpowers, I'll tell you that. Not unless What was that?
It looks like it requires 30 to 40 friends to build a barn.
Yeah, no, it's I can't. No, I don't. Zach, what are you going to do with a barn? First off, I don't want to come all the way out there, help you build a barn, and then be like, so how's it going with the barn? Like, oh, I'm kind of over that.
Look, here's the thing. It's not going to just be you and me building a barn. I need to find 30 or 40 people. So you don't have to do that much lifting.
I guess.
I mean, you can even do no lifting and just pretend to lift.
Well, if everyone's doing that, then no barn's going to get lifted. If everyone's got their arms crossed and just assuming everyone else is going to do the lift, there's no barn.
But Brian, when you fly here, you don't have to pay for a hotel. You can just stay in the barn once I'm done building it.
Okay.
So
there you go. It's the old classic, if you want shelter, you better have it done. By
we are talking about barn raising because it is featured in tonight's episode of Smallville.
Yes.
A scene straight out of the movie Witness. Have you ever seen Witness?
I have seen Witness.
I love Witness.
And you're right. I also love the part where the teenager who used to have superpowers doesn't have superpowers anymore. Also in this episode, a barn raising, loss of virginity.
Spoilers. Huge.
I guess so.
Huge moment for everyone. You, me, the characters.
Just for everyone.
The CW.
For Coldplay.
Oh man, this is when they hit it big, right? When they're
yes. This. So I found out, obviously, there's some virginity losing in this episode. I found out that there isn't a lot of trivia for this episode, Mortal, Season 5, Episode 2. But another WB show called Everwood has a line where they're talking about losing their virginity. And Ephraim... I'm not familiar with Everwood, but the character Ephraim says it doesn't have to be all candles and Coldplay. And is that specifically?
Oh, wait. Well, was it after this? Did it air after this episode?
I mean, we have to find that out right now, right? Everwood, Season 4 date. Season 4 is in 2005, so it's before, I guess. Shit.
Wait, no, this is 05, right?
This is weeks later. It's weeks later. So this episode aired October 6, 2005. Was it just virginity losing month on
when did the Everwood
air? October 2005. October 20th, 2005.
Oh, okay. Because
I'm
trying to understand.
Though.
Yeah, was this an in-joke? It had to have been an in-joke.
Someone knew someone's, on the other show.
Yes, it had to have been. There's no way you just pick those two random things unless, it was either the Everwood people poking fun at Smallville, which I think is what happened, or it was Smallville people being like, "Oh, you know what? Oh, you think that's funny? Everwood and Coldplay, or Candles and Coldplay?"
Right. So do you have any, I don't know, I guess larger thoughts about this episode overall? I think it's a pretty good down the middle one. It's good. It's a good episode.
I think they're coming out strong. Start of season 5 so far. Neither episode has knocked our socks off, I'm sure, but they're both solid, down the middle. Nothing is wrong with the episodes, is what I would say. It's like there's no like glaring like,
agreed.
Oh, what are we doing?
Agreed. So I guess I'll get right into things. I'm, of course, reading directly from smallville.fandom.com. Lex is watching Lionel in his cell at Belle Reve. His expression is unreadable as Lionel wanders around in a straitjacket, unresponsive. Lex instructs the doctor to monitor Lionel at all times. He exits the facility. He bumps into Tommy Lee, a man with electrical powers. The guard doesn't notice Lee's restraints deactivate. Lee overpowers the orderlies and escapes with the twins, who have the ability to create a powerful force field together. They ask where to, and Lee replies, Smallville. That's the name of the show. I could 100% be crazy. I will say I got up this morning quite early. I fed my daughter and I threw this on. I watched this on Hulu and I haven't gone back and confirmed. I did not see this scene. Now, was I just fuddling with my kid, getting her ready, and like it just didn't bank into like permanent memory? But I have no memory of this. I remember this starting in the next scene. I remember hitting play and the next scene starting up.
Well, I too watched it on Hulu, and I can tell you, my version
saw the scene.
Had the scene.
I must have just been like looking down at the bottle or something, or getting something like
the bottle of whiskey that you're drinking to get you through the child rearing.
It's because I was looking at this earlier and I'm like, oh, Lionel's not in this episode. Like, no, okay, he is. I mean, he's barely, but
it's literally John Glover with those contact lenses in a straitjacket for a minute, and then Lex is talking to the doctor, who he doesn't say this, but is most certainly a specialist from Metropolis.
Of course.
If he said, "I'm glad you're here, specialist from Metropolis," then we could have put it on one of our tallies.
He does. Even if we know, we do have to hear the confirmation. That's our duty. That's just responsible Smallville tracking.
And
we don't just go calling things willy-nilly.
No, the whole point of it is that it's a name drop. So,
right.
Okay, and in that scene, I'm going to say 2 concussions. One for sure. The other one, I'm pretty confident we can call a concussion from the 2 guards that get knocked out.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that
this episode
good to me.
Has like 3 maybe concussions that I don't know if we can call them concussions, but there's a lot of possible concussion happening in this episode.
Now, as much as we have a thin line, I think we're like concussions. We're pretty liberal on.
We used to be stricter, but now they just cut away too quick. But it's like some of those injuries.
You get a good enough bonk.
Yeah. You're like, well, I mean, he had a concussion there for sure.
A lot of people getting bonked in the head on this television show. I think. So Smallville citizens are raising a barn with Clark and Jonathan's help. Jonathan asks Clark how he is doing, and he says that he doesn't mind being sore or in pain. I don't believe that for a fucking second. I had forgotten from last week that he had lost his powers, and that's what we were doing now. And so, the only thing I would believe is Clark finishes like pushing this like barn side up with 30 to 40 other people and just going, ah, fuck, oh no,
Right.
It would take him, a child, a boy, a young man who has never had to exert any kind of real effort, suddenly having to, his muscles have to be screaming.
Right.
Screaming.
I mean, they do have fun later in the episode when he's talking with Chloe, where he's complaining about how hard it is, and I do appreciate that. But there's also a scene where he's talking to Lana at the end. He's like, "I thought all my problems would go away." I'm like, "What do you mean? You had the most superpowers anyone's ever had in fiction." And you went from that to being an ordinary kid who looks really good, but how long is that going to last? With if you're not doing a hard workout regimen, like normal humans have to work for that shit. Most 18-year-olds don't have that body automatically, Clark.
Oh God, still eating like an 18-year-old, but like,
yeah, you don't get that body from Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I remember that fridge full of Mountain Dew from the pilot. Of course. In the pilot, there is just a beautiful moment of product placement where, I shit you not, Clark, and I flagged this the very first time I watched it, thought it was the funniest fucking thing, but Clark goes and opens the fridge door and the entire wall is just Pepsi products.
He's drinking Pepsi, he's using Old Spice, he's chewing Stride gum.
Superman loves capitalism.
The American way.
Of course.
That's the third part of it.
So Chloe asks Clark how he's adjusting, saying that she believes his destiny is more than farm life. To which Clark isn't like, the fuck is none of your fucking business. What do you want me to do about? Oh, sorry, I'll go ask my alien dad in the Arctic if I can have my superpowers back
to the North Pole. She also mentions that or Clark mentions that the Lex pulled strings at FEMA to get them disaster relief money. I don't know why that I flagged that, but like,
there's some goofy Lex stuff this episode. There's another goofy Lex moment later. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But it was one of those, Smallville. Okay, so Clark insists that he's glad to be free of his Kryptonian destiny, and it's worth it because he gets to be with Lana. And Lana talks about how the world seems to be off of Clark's shoulders. We're doing Clark and Lana. Clark and Lana are smooching. They're shacking up. Clark hasn't had a girlfriend in 4 years of this show. We haven't done a Clark has girlfriend storyline.
You're forgetting about the one that got hung from a barn.
Just like Clark forgot.
Yeah. She gets a name drop in this episode.
She does.
Alicia.
She does.
Alicia does.
Right. I more mean, of course, a season-wide-ish arc.
Right.
I don't actually remember how long this lasts.
They always refer to Lana and Clark's past relationship, which lasted all of 2 episodes.
Right.
In season 2.
I think we see them under a tree together at one point, just kind of like longingly like looking at each other, and that was the extent of their they made eye contact a couple of times. We're dating.
If that's the case, I had a lot of girlfriends in high school that didn't know
it. Lex arrives to talk to Clark and says he hopes they can rebuild their friendship. Though I forget the exact words out of Lex's mouth when he arrives, but they're kind of funny. It's something like, "Look at the lovebirds. Go away."
Go away, old 25-year-old. So the best part
Go
about
find
this
a
scene
high schooler to hang out with.
is Lana is upset with Lex for the spaceship thing, right? So
Right.
Lex shows up and she's like, says to Clark, "I'll wait for you," because they're going to go back to the Kent house. So she says, "I'll wait for you," and then stands 4 feet away and waits while Lex and Clark have their conversation. That's the most awkward. Like, I thought she was like, "I'll wait for you at the house," and like she goes to the house.
Yeah, or up the hill, or
She's like, "I'll wait for you." 4 feet away. I just don't want to talk to that motherfucker.
Take a step and cross your arms and just give the Oh, you're gonna talk to no, go talk to your friend who gaslit me about a spaceship. Go do it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, so you can both gaslight each other.
Yeah. Clark and Lana go to the Kent barn to retrieve supplies, and they discuss their relationship, agreeing to put the past behind them. Clark is more relaxed around Lana now that he is human.
As they're walking back to the barn, they're walking through like a wheat field, and Clark is just holding a meteor rock as he's talking, you know? Why are you fucking around with meteor rocks, Clark?
What are you?
You're standing in wheat. You're going to become Wheatboy.
Right, they're still massively dangerous.
Yeah, right. Now that you're human, they're even more dangerous.
I didn't even think that. God forbid you take a tumble or anything.
Right, yeah. Anything happens around those fucking meteor rocks, you're getting some kind of power.
You will, in fact, become fucking, wheat scarecrow boy. Like, oh, no. And that's the rest of the show.
Wheat boy? What is that? What is the power of Wheat Boy? He just like,
what is the...
he can turn things into wheat.
I'm just picturing a boy whose arms are just stalks of wheat, and it's stalks of wheat coming out of the sleeves of his red shirt. No,
that would be like,
no.
Talk about a bummer. Yeah, you didn't want your powers? Fine, have these powers.
No!
That's a Twilight Zone ending.
Yeah. That would have if the creators Goff and Millar left on bad terms. That's how I would leave the
so you'd leave the next
end of
writer's
season
room with...
story, and then just like drop the fucking mic and be like, "All right, you guys figure that one out." Just like, no.
No, Jor-El would just come in and you cannot save the world with wheat, Kal-El.
I'm Wheat Boy.
Clark, remember 5 minutes after turning into Wheat Boy, would just be like, "This is my life now. You got to accept it.
When he turned blind, he was just like, it was 5 minutes, and like, how dare you?
Yeah,
how dare
like,
you?
This is how my life is." Yeah, Lex is like, "Hey, I could maybe we could get some specialists and give you your sight back," and he's like, "Stop. This is my life.
I don't want to talk to anybody." And now I'm Wheat Boy. Confessing to Lex finally.
Yeah,
you're right. I've been hiding something from you. I have stalks of wheat for arms. I'm Wheat Boy, Lex.
Now stop trying to get me to change, or I will turn your Cheerios into shredded wheat with my powers.
Oh, stupid.
You don't get this on Talkville. You don't get this on Talkville. By the way, I listened to Talkville this week. It was really good this week. They had Kristen Crook.
What episode is it tied to?
It was the season 2 finale.
Oh, that's
they are officially as of like 2 weeks from now. They're officially to the point where we started posting episodes.
Wow. Hello?
We need to start re-listening to those and coming up with questions to ask them.
Yes, God, we're hitting that point. We're hitting. You are exactly right.
We gotta call about
do
the
they
giant photo. We're calling about the giant photo.
We're calling about the giant photo. God is my witness. We are calling about the giant photo. Are they still? I have a Talkville question, Zach. Welcome to. We're gonna pivot to the Talkville corner. Are they still like taking listener questions?
Yeah.
Have the listener questions gotten better?
No. No.
I listened to the first couple.
The listener questions peaked with our question that we asked him. Which I believe was, "What's your fucking problem?" I think is what I asked him.
All right. Back to Smallville. Lana and Clark are making out in his loft, but he suggests they slow down because he wants their first time to be special. All right, pause button again. Pause time. Hello.
We both, just for the listeners, we both were waving stop right there. We were both like, no, we have to talk about this.
Like, okay, first things first. You're making out in the loft. I think Clark's shirt comes off. We see the beef, you know? And it's like, who said anything about losing your virginities here? Like, handies are fun.
No.
We don't gotta go all the way to penetrative sex here in the barn while you're doing shit and people are waiting for you back at the barn raising.
Right. Yeah, just like a quick Hummer.
Yeah, right.
This is the most unrealistic part of the episode, and maybe in Smallville thus far, is when the 18-year-old boy who's making out with the love of his life, Kristen Crook, just stops it. He says, "No, I want this to be special. It's special enough. She's Kristen."
Yeah, right,
Crook.
right. And she wants to.
I would be insulted. If I was Kristen Crook, I would be like, "What do you mean? What's more special than this? Like, what the fuck? We've waited 4 years. We're both teenagers with hormones."
I remember losing my virginity, and it is the most cliche kind of like, should we like to make a night of it, dude? I don't know. Should we like build out? And then it was just like, it was literally the most cliche, like, or now's good. Now's good. Now's good.
Yeah,
Nary a candle in sight.
But there was Coldplay. A live
there was,
band
I mean, there's always
in the room
Coldplay.
you were in.
That's. Yeah. I can only fuck to Coldplay.
The scientist. Just
that's. So that's like the worst meteor power. It's like an only nut to Coldplay.
I got hit with a meteor rock while I was at a Coldplay concert, and I was having sex, and it just fucking.
Oh, damn it. Me and fucking Wheatboy. We got the real short end of the stick here. Yeah, he's got weed forearms. I can only nut to Chris Martin fucking crooning.
There's like a self-help group in Smallville for people with shitty powers from meteor rocks. Yeah, my hands turn into cup holders. It's pretty fucking shitty.
They already could hold cups, and now they just become cup holders.
Yeah,
there's no functional benefit to it.
It only fits one size in the cup holder, so.
There are plenty of meteor freaks who could have used their powers to become superheroes. But like just as many people, like there must be so many people in Smallville like, yeah, we want to see something fucking weird. It's fucking nothing. Just boom, cup, place a cup in there. Well, not that size cup. Come on. You see it. You fucking see the size of the cup holder.
Yeah,
no, I can't. Don't put a mug. A mug.
Try to cram a big gulp in there. What do I look like?
No, if I can go back to my regular hand, right? You're right. Anything? Any more thoughts on Clark and Lana not boning?
It was funny when they hear someone enter the barn and Clark is like, "Oh, hey, mom, dad!" Oh, puts his shirt on.
Yeah, right.
That was fun. That was a fun moment.
It's fun. Oh, we're late because we were just.
Although both 18 years old, what do Mama K and Papa K think is going on? She has an apartment.
Right,
She has
right,
her own
right.
apartment.
And your son looks like Tom
here,
Welling,
right? The implication here is that some time has passed since the meteors, right?
Yes.
Probably a few months would be my guess. So you're telling me Clark and Lana have been together for a few months. She has her own apartment, and they haven't boned yet.
He wants it to be special.
Brian, this isn't like they just met and started dating, right? They're starting on the 10th date. You know what I'm saying? This is...
Though I'm not entirely confident Clark knows what sex is. Because, his shirt just comes off and he's like, wait, whoa. We just can't let our nips touch because that's what sex is. Correct?
He's like, what do I do now that I can't shoot fire out of my eyes? I thought that was a big part of sex. Lighting people on fire.
Was the boner a Krypton power? Was that a Superman power?
Because I haven't been able to get one since. So...
No. Let's put it this way. If he could not get a boner, he would be trudging back up to the Arctic.
Yeah, he would be joining the next expedition. He'd be at the snowmobile place right now.
You fix this now.
Yeah, I will kill you again, Jor-El. I don't care if you're dead.
I'm going to take every little piece of fucking meteor rock. I am going to reassemble Krypton. I'm going to kill your ass dead.
Oh, he just starts jerking off with meteor rock, trying to get it back. Sorry, this is getting R-rated.
Yeah, welcome to the Talon Mix's shift into shock jockery.
Yeah, Talon Mix nights.
Okay, so Clark and Lana are interrupted by three fugitives. The twins blast Clark with a bolt of psychic energy, pinning him to the ceiling. Tommy Lee talks about how everybody in Belle Reve wants Clark and how he's a legend there. Clark tells him he's got the wrong guy. Lee responds that he's going to have to kill him and his girlfriend.
Everyone outside of Belle Reve wants Clark too, you know what I'm saying?
Hachi-machi.
We got our first yikes of the season.
I missed it. Tell me.
By the way, we forgot to do yikes of the year for awards. So
I don't know if we had a huge one. I don't think we had a huge what the fuck this year for season 4.
The only one I can think of is we had Lex. Aside from all the creepy Lex Lana stuff,
right?
We had Lex slapping that fencing instructor on the ass when he was evil Lex. That was pretty yikes.
That's pretty yikes.
Yeah.
I can see that was a little. He was evil Lex though, and it was a little bit of a wrestling heel move.
Right? Yeah,
it was
totally.
cheap heat.
He was twirling his mustache.
Right.
Okay. The lead bad guy, is it Tommy Lee? Is that what you said?
They keep saying Tommy Lee, which is a very funny name to give a character and then refer to you, right?
He licks the side of Lana's face.
Such a fucking what the fuck?
Did you see that, Brian?
I did see that. And I did flag it of like, why?
Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Was that in the script, or did that motherfucker say, hey, I think my character would lick this girl's face right now? Because neither one makes sense to me.
Both are weird.
Yes.
And
Both
I
are
will say
weird.
equally possible. It's a coin flip. Like,
It's weird that a room full of men was like, let's have this let's be generous, 40-year-old man lick Kristen Crook's face. Or the 40-year-old man was like, I think my character would lick Kristen Crook's face. I wasn't there. I don't know who was responsible. I don't like it.
I don't like it. But either way, on set, someone went, all right, lick her face.
Yes. And then afterwards, someone was like, yeah, let's include that in the episode.
Don't like it. Wish that hadn't happened.
Here's the thing. I'm not against creepy characters doing creepy things in movies and in consensual acting, whatever.
Right.
There's no plot reason for that to happen here.
It's just to be creepy, which, yeah. It's not like a red flag. We've certainly seen worse on this television show.
For sure. I just
but it's
don't
enough
understand.
to just go. No.
Oh, 2005.
Oh, 2005. All right. Lex finds Chloe in the Kawachi Caves, examining the altar, and again questions her on how she made it to the Yukon. Like,
well,
you ended up fucking up there. You ended up there. Suddenly. Tell me.
Well, first of all, Rosenbaum is coming out throwing heat in this episode. I think he heard.
Yes.
Somehow the news got back in time to him that he didn't get MVP again, and he was like, all right, fuck, I gotta go for it. Again.
Right.
I gotta go for it this year. He's very good. Leaning into the more evil side of Lex does him well. The scene opens, Chloe's alone in the caves, and she says something about Clark, like, oh, if this is what you want, Clark, to herself. And then turns around and Lex is right there and is like, that's why you don't talk to yourself, right? That's one of the reasons.
Especially not in the creepy cave that the billionaire is interested in.
Right, yeah. And don't say secrets out loud to yourself. That's right. That's
just in general. You know what? Good tip. The full NBC, like, now you know. Don't say secrets aloud to yourself. It's not. There's no reason to. Those are inside thoughts.
You might not be the only one there. Lex calls Chloe a third wheel in this scene.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was something about dodging him and, like, being too busy being a third wheel, which,
yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, it's great. Oh, that's good. That's mean, Lex. That's good.
Hitting Chloe right where it hurts.
It is so insulting, though, to be Lex. And at this point, have Clark and Chloe be like, nothing weird is going on. You're crazy.
Yes.
How infuriating would that be to be Lex? Come on.
We've talked about it on the show, but like, it is gaslighting. This is what this is.
Oh, it's egregious at this point. It's
okay. He tries to force her to tell him what she knows about what happened in the cave and about Clark's involvement, and she counters that he knows more than he admits as well, because he is now claiming that the spaceship Lana saw was non-existent. She tells him to stop asking her questions, or she will start asking some of her own. For what? Your student newspaper that doesn't exist anymore? That apparently
Yeah. You got nothing.
She doesn't have
You got
that weapon
nothing.
anymore.
Yeah.
She doesn't, like, I'll
Go
talk
write
about
it
this
on
on
a
the
blog.
front page. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In today's day and age, if Smallville were made today, Chloe would have like a podcast, right?
Oh, for sure. A podcast. Yep. Do you think after Chloe graduated, Lionel's like sitting on the toilet reading the torch and like, man, this thing really went downhill? Reading
Not enough scandal.
his daily copy. He's like, I don't care about the cafeteria lunch menu. What the fuck?
What happened to all the investigative journalism? Now there's
No one's died in years.
now there's just some kid writing a movie review because his teacher let him. I've talked about this before. My school newspaper was just an elective class, right? And like it put like one out a semester, I think. And one kid wrote a movie review for it. I believe it was of Hostel. And yeah, right. But they kept. Now, I don't know if you remember, but Eli Roth's Hostel was executive produced by Quentin Tarantino, basically just on the train, which basically just means executive producer on film is very different from executive producer on television. It's virtually a credit that says, I don't know, Tarantino said this was cool.
Yes, I saw a movie and I liked it. Yeah.
That's all that is, period. But this person wrote this review not understanding how that was, and as if it were a Quentin Tarantino film. And I'm sitting there in this class seething. Seething. And no one caring. I'm trying to like explain, and I'm just an asshole, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Even though I'm right, I'm being an asshole because no one cares.
I have had that experience many times, and not just about movies, where it's like I'm the only one in the room who actually is right about the thing, and everyone else is like, God, this guy's an asshole.
I also remember taking a film appreciation elective in high school, and someone in the class asking, if everything's in like the script, what does the director do? Why does the director always like get special mention? Because they're just filming the script. And the teacher goes, well, it's about how well they translate the script. And I'm like, I'm losing my mind over here. I'm like,
no, hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just nothing. What you said was nothing.
Oh, I mean, I still
you're thinking of theater. That's theater. That is theater. You're right.
I still get fired up, like, even as a grown man, I'm alone listening to, I listen to a movie podcast that's like probably one of the most successful ones. And the host constantly is throwing out just wrong information. And I'm just like at home, like, no, people listen to this. Yeah.
Thank God we're 100% correct all the time.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Thank God. Could you imagine how embarrassing that would be?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no. If anyone was listening, we would hear
if anyone was listening.
Yeah. You just reminded me, I went in college, not the college that I went to with you, but like community college. I was like looking
I had to do that too, because what do you do with I can write a screenplay, I guess.
I was looking for an easy credit, and there was a film class, and I was like, maybe that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I went to the first class, and the very first thing the professor asks us is, what is the difference between a movie and a film? And I never went back to the class after that.
I hate that. Oh, I hate that.
Oh, man. I was like,
Oh,
bye,
that's-
bye, see ya. Hey, cliche.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
What the fuck are you? Well, film is literally.
Yeah.
It's
Film is
literally the photograph that is run
Right.
through the projector. If
Yeah.
that's what you mean.
oh my gosh.
Um,
Maybe the guy was trying to point out that there wasn't a difference, but that wasn't the vibe I got.
yeah. Oh. Okay. Chloe and Lex, they're doing their thing. Back at the farmhouse, Clark learns the Belle Reve escapees were part of an abandoned test group subjected to green kryptonite injections and have since become addicted to them. Eager for a fix, Lee devised a plan to make Clark Kent get it for them, having heard of his amazing feats. You have electricity powers and your creepy twin friends. I'm always a big fan of creepy twins. Anytime you can put creepy twins in something, I'm like, that's cool. That's a cool idea.
I forgot. This is totally just post Matrix Reloaded.
Yes, you are correct.
Let's get creepy twins. Yeah.
Love a creepy twin. But like, I don't know, you probably could have, the three of you could have figured something out, I think.
Right. You broke out of prison.
You could have done it.
You could hold off the cops during a hostage situation. Like, although, it's discovered later that this whole thing is
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. Okay, so Jonathan and Martha drive up looking for Clark. So Jonathan enters, and this is where I got my first look at Johnny K's hair. Does Johnny K's hair look familiar to you here, Zach? Perhaps a little film called Lake Placid 2.
Yes, and just to be clear, not a movie, a film. Lake Placid 2.
The film.
A piece of cinema.
You can go back in our archives and listen to our Lake Placid 2 episode. It would have been around is that 2 years ago?
The least listened to episode in the
it
history
is
of this podcast.
by far, bar none. That means like we have a healthy listenership considering we put minimal effort into this. I look at the numbers, I go, okay. Just collectively on a large scale, people they watched Lake Placid 2. I don't need to listen to this week.
I mean, honestly, that's the appropriate reaction.
Yeah, it's mostly it is two guys going like, why did we watch a movie we didn't have to watch?
Well, it's our Halloween tradition. We watch a bad movie made by a Smallville cast member.
Of course.
We got to start getting ready for this year. We did say we were going to treat ourselves with Gremlins 2 this year with John Glover.
Right. I think we could do that. We could, we could also do Urban Legends. Urban Legends would be significantly more fun than,
I feel like Urban Legends will lead to better podcasting.
I agree.
Yeah, because what are we going to say? It was really good. Gremlins 2.
Yeah. Gremlins 2 is at least like weird good. It's
Right.
one of those goods that like it got reassessed later as like, no, this is fun.
Yeah,
It was
wrong.
Gremlins 2 when it came out was like, what?
It got reassessed as like Gremlins 2 doesn't look so bad now, does it? 2023. Huh?
Okay. So Jonathan and Martha drive up looking for Clark, and Lee takes Lana hostage and tells Clark to get rid of them. Clark lies badly that Lana went to lie down, but his parents notice his shirt on inside out and realize he's lying. They try to investigate, but encounter what were you gonna do? Also,
Right, yeah.
like, bust him about it later. Like, hey, no fucking in my head. Go fuck at your girlfriend's
Right.
apartment.
That's my favorite
Where
part
your
of
mom
that
works.
is they ask about Lana, and then Johnny K goes, I'll go see about Lana myself. What? Shouldn't Mama K be going to check that out?
Yeah, right? I'm going to go see about this innocent stealing tramp.
No, they think that they're doing it. And so he's like, I'm going to go see for myself.
Right.
Not cool, Johnny K.
Not cool, Johnny K.
When the bad guys reveal themselves and like threaten them, Johnny K goes, listen, fella, I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to. I love it. Just the perfect Johnny K reaction. Like,
so good.
Clark's afraid and complying with this guy, and Johnny K's like, I'm just gonna walk right up to him.
So they try to investigate, but encounter the three fugitives who take Jonathan and Martha Kent hostage too, and send Clark to find the drug, or else they will kill his family. Cool and rad. Clark.
They level 3. It's a season 1 throwback.
Yeah. Clark enlists Chloe's help, and she takes him to Luthor Corp. She comes equipped with a truckload of spy gear, and they use her laptop to break into the building during the security shift change. They do note here because of course the big thing is like, hey, some fucking freaks have my family hostage. Can we just call Lex and like handle this? Like, hey, Lex, hey, I know things got a little rough there, but hey, buddy, they got my family hostage. I'm sure Lex would be happy in theory. But they just throw away. I called. He's on a plane.
yeah, he's busy.
He's not around.
We also get introduced to Chekhov's flashbang grenade. In the back of Chloe's truck. It's like, oh, what's this? A flashbang grenade? Gonna come back later. That better come back later. You're gonna introduce us to it.
Just back to the Lex line real fast. So I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and sometimes, because it's a lot of fucking like quote unquote storytelling on the fly, and sometimes little things don't make sense, and sometimes it's fun to point those things out. But it is also like, do you want to play this or not? Like, I'm not fixing it. Do you want to? That feels like Tom Welling just going, do you want there to be a show or not?
Yeah, he just turned to the screen.
Do you want to not do the episode this week? Is that what you want?
Oh.
Why don't you just call Lex? Oh yeah, let's just go home.
Yeah. Oh, cool episode. 10 minutes long. So, did you also find some of the security features at Luthor Corp to be wanting? Also,
in general, it does seem that anyone can just go into Luthor Corp at any time. And the most you'll get is a stern finger wagging from Lex.
Yeah, Chloe's picture should be on the wall at this point, but she has her laptop.
Child in.
Yeah, she has her laptop hooked up to the front door or whatever, and Clark's like, yeah, can you do this and this and this? And she's like, you know what? Why don't we just shut the power off? And she shuts the power off, and then the door just opens. Yeah. Just like...
That's all it takes, baby. That's all it takes.
The power goes out, and the door opens? How does that work? It's like a spring-loaded... If the power goes out, that spring is just going to pop...
So there's a blackout in Smallville, and then just suddenly any secrets you have in there, like every single time there's a blackout, thunderstorm. Lex has to be like sweating profusely. Like
this isn't like just their cream corn factory. This is the secret place.
Every time there's a thunderstorm, Lex just being like, "Fucking shit."
We need to change those doors. And then
I'm
later,
doing it. I'm
sure,
finally doing it. I'll get my big picture guy to fucking make the change.
I'm sure this will come up later, but when Clark is crawling through the vents, some kind of security system starts bringing down little gates inside the vents, but they don't all come down at once. They're like one at a time, like
Yeah, right. Like
chasing Clark.
they should. Hey. So we have two settings here. We can drop them all at once, or we can have them come down like one by one by one. And I say, what's a little drama?
Yeah. Damn it! I left the security on gradual. Fuck. Automatic.
God damn it! I thought the rest of the joke would come to me. It didn't, so I'm moving on. Did you have any other thoughts there?
No, just love that security at Luther Corp.
Love it. Inside the partially reconstructed Kent house, Sheriff Adams shows up. Lee takes Martha for leverage and sends Jonathan and Lana out to get rid of her. She tells Jonathan they found the car, the convicts stole up the road, and makes small talk for a few minutes. Sheriff Adams doing some A+ policing.
Is that coffee, Mr. Kent?
Clark sneaks into the ventilation duct and communicates to Chloe through an earpiece. They snipe at each other for a little bit, and Chloe is incredulous when he lets slip he told Pete about his superpowers. We get in this episode a Pete acknowledgement, an Alicia acknowledgement, a Jason acknowledgement.
Level 3? Level 3?
Wow. Just a real who's who.
Yeah. I do love that. I love that Clark is like sweating in the vent and complaining, and Chloe's like, just blow it out your ass.
It's good. It's good. This does feel like a classic superhero story. You know, Spider-Man 2 in 2004 pretty literally did it. Of just like, who is the guy, you know, if he gets everything he wants? He does, you know, he has everything.
Right.
Are you happy, though?
Right. Yeah. Superman 2 kind of did a similar, loses his powers.
Right. So back at the Kent farm, Sheriff Adams notices something is amiss. She leaves to call for backup. Tommy blasts her away, and the twins put up a force field.
There's a little scuffle here, though. We get a classic Johnny K jumping off of an off-screen trampoline and tackling Tommy Lee. Reminiscent of it. Remember he did that in I think it was the season 2 premiere where he tackled the reporter guy. Like,
I don't remember.
We watched it like 4 times on the old Twitch.
I believe it.
He's just Johnny K loves to jump off a trampoline and tackle a motherfucker.
Do you think John Schneider was specifically like, give me a trampoline stunt. I'm ready for it. Let's do it again.
Yeah,
Let's do it again, baby.
He's like, no, we just want you to tackle him normally off the ground. He's like, nah, I got to fly in. He
brings in his own trampoline.
From his trailer.
Wait, he can't. Just let him do it. He's a Duke of Hazzard.
Yeah. He's like, I trained for this. So Lana gets a concussion for sure during that little scuffle. Johnny K gets in a fist fight, and then he loses and is kind of dazed and gets dragged back inside. I think that's a concussion. Probably.
I agree. Mark it.
I mean, if you're punch drunk, that's a concussion, right?
That's a concussion.
The sheriff gets electric shocked or whatever that power is, over a police car tumbling to the ground. And then we cut away, and then we cut back and she's getting up. So close, but I don't think we can give that.
Too close to call. Yeah.
All right. Two concussions, 2 more.
Still pretty good. We're still racking them up. Clark and Chloe locate the serum in the facility, but they cannot get through the room in which they are stored because the lock is only activated with Lex's thumbprint. Have you tried cutting the power, Chloe? The catch-all. The ultimate skeleton key. Chloe remembers that Lex picked up her flashlight during their confrontation in the caves. She and Clark lift a fingerprint off of the flashlight. However, the room is still crossed with security laser beams, and when Clark reaches for it, they burn his arm. I don't feel like that's traditionally what the Mission Impossible lasers do. They set the alarms off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not actual Star Wars laser beams.
These are like actual Star Wars laser beams.
This is a Goldfinger laser beam.
Yeah. To be fair, Lex is an evil billionaire with a secret lab. Anything is possible.
Right. I mean, he can't get a security system that drops all the gates at the same time, but...
No, because he spent it all on Star Wars lasers. It's, hey, whoa, gates all dropping at the same time? That's a premium feature.
Right, yeah. Do you want that or the lasers? Do you want that or the lasers?
And here's the thing, if they all drop at the same time, they may not even get to the lasers. So, what's the point of having the lasers?
Yeah, that I already spent all this money on.
That's just a waste of lasers. Back at the farm, the police can only wait impatiently on the other side of the twins' force field. Clark arrives and asks the sheriff to let him handle things. Did I skip a little bit? No.
No, so they skipped a thing. It's important. We cut back to the farm or the house, and Lana's like, "Don't worry, Mr. and Mrs. Kent. Clark will get us out of this. Like he always finds a way." And then she looks away, and it shows Martha K and Johnny K looking at each other like, "Oh man, she doesn't know. Without his powers, our son is just a handsome moron." Like.
Oh no! Yeah, you see, there's a trade-off here, Lana. You get that D, but also we die here now today.
Yeah.
So
he
I hope
is not anything.
I hope his maiden voyage there that we think you had, that we accuse him having, was all right. Because
that's it. Yeah, the Titanic. He is basically a really nice beefcake. That's all he is.
Did you enjoy the beef? Because that actually, had we survived, the beef would probably go away. But
yeah.
Back at the farm, the police can only wait impatiently on the other side of the twins' force field. Clark arrives and asks the sheriff to let him handle things. Clark gets inside and ends up fighting the fugitives with a sledgehammer and no superpowers. He surprises them with Chloe's flash grenade, a graduation present from Lois, it says here in parentheses, and dodges out of Tommy's energy blast so that it hits the twins. He shorts out the electricity with the hammer, disabling Tommy's powers, and floors him with a punch. The police arrest the three men.
So, weird that the flashbang didn't affect anybody except for the one bad guy. I don't think that's how flashbang grenades work.
That's how it works in video games. I don't see the problem.
I thought it was like everyone in the vicinity. I thought.
No.
Also, Tommy Lee gets a concussion. A lot of concussions this episode.
A lot of concussions. As they are being hauled away, Chloe arrives and congratulates Clark's heroic act. She also reveals...
She shows up. Clark and Lana are standing together. She shows up and says, can we have a second? And Lana's like, sure. Not like, what? Why? That's weird.
Yeah. Can we have secret time? Chloe arrives.
I'm sorry, I can't. If you and I were talking and a third person came up and was like, "Hey, can I talk to you secret?" Like, if we were in a group and they said that, I wouldn't be personally offended.
Right.
But if it's just me, that's specifically something you don't want me to know. You got to be a little more discreet. Be a little more discreet about it for my feelings.
It could just be the other person coming in to tell me they've had catastrophic diarrhea. And I am the only one with toilet paper because I am hoarding it in this hyper-specific scenario. I've lost the plot on this.
But but theoretically, this person would be just as close to me as they are to you.
But you don't have the toilet paper. I do. What are you not following about this scenario that I've so clearly laid out?
Oh, so much. I'm not following any of it.
Okay, she also revealed... Clark and Chloe go off. She reveals that someone was watching them break into the facility. Lex is watching a security tape at the mansion. He insists it is impossible when he sees Clark being burned by the security beam. He looks up and sees Clark standing in his doorway. Clark stalks into the room and punches him, knocking him to the floor. Clark demands to know what he promised the meteor freaks and tells him that if he wants to test him, he should do it himself. Clark tries to punch him again, but Lex punches Clark back. When Clark's split lip bleeds, he asks Lex if he's satisfied. Which is like, whoa. Who said you couldn't bleed?
Right. I mean, Superman is supposed to be this paragon of all that is good. Right. And if you find out that Lex set that whole thing up and one of your reactions isn't, this is kind of all my fucking fault, then you're not a good guy. Right. Clark, I get you should be upset, but you should also be like, I get it.
I see how this happened.
I am partly responsible for this situation.
Lex, how dare you not completely fall for my terribly put together ruse that I've been... How dare you see through my lies and want to know the answers?
Insultingly obvious gaslighting.
It doesn't occur to Clark at all, like, to be fair, I have been aggressively lying to him.
I'm literally driving him insane.
Afterward, Clark goes to Lana's Talon apartment for comfort. He doesn't tell her about his and Lex's fight, but he talks to her about the uncertainty he feels, indirectly saying he thought his life would be different or easier without his powers. Lana takes care of his wounds, and they make love for the first time to Coldplay. Sex.
It's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good.
It's like good.
It's good. A really solid teen soap sexy.
Yes.
We get candles, we get Coldplay. That's what you want. It's the song Message, which was off of their what is it? XYZ? X and Y?
X and Y. X and Y was the title of the album.
XYZ would have been
I don't
funny.
know. I didn't listen to Coldplay.
That album was a big deal. That album was a big deal to me back in 2005. Let me tell you right now.
Yeah. I was more of a Rush of Blood to the Head guy, but
I mean, that was a great album too. That was a great album too.
And that's the app. It's a solid one. It was a good one.
Yeah,
I think it's fun to explore. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I'm happy with season 5 so far. I like what we're doing. I like where we're going.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to explore Clark without his powers for a couple of episodes. I'm having fun with this. I don't know how many more episodes it goes on, But I think this is a fun little story arc. I like it. I'd be surprised if we're not dealing with it by next episode. As I said up top.
That's funny. Yeah, we are definitely dealing with it next episode. I can tell you right
now. I don't have a ton of interesting trivia about this episode. Let's see. Apparently, there's a brief glimpse of a camera to the right of a truck during the barn lifting scene.
Embarrassing. Maybe someone's filming the barn lifting.
Let's see. We have here, this episode marks the end of Clark and Lex's friendship. I guess we're just done with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I don't think it's a no going back point. That comes later, but this is like, we're officially not buds anymore.
I would say
they still interact sometimes and are sometimes on more friendly terms than others, but they're not hanging out buds ever again.
To be fair, if you and I started punching each other in the face, it might be like that was the beginning of the end there.
Yeah,
things were different after that.
It was different after that.
I guess that's everything.
That should be how we end every episode. I guess that's everything.
I think it might be. That might be how most episodes kind of end. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the Talon Mix. We'll be back next week with another episode of Smallville. Hey, in the meantime, we have a Discord. The link is in the episode description. There is also a link to our Patreon if you are inclined to, show a little support. We certainly appreciate it. It does help keep the show going. We got some bonus stuff up. Zach and I recently saw The Flash, and we've talked about that there. That should be available there by now.
Some of our best work.
Definitely. Yeah. We know that for sure and aren't about to record it right now. But go check that out if you are inclined. So, Zach, you have a question for the Smallville gods?
I sure do, Brian. In keeping with the theme of childish Smallville sex humor, my question is this. If Clark turned into Wheatboy, would he have a wheat wiener?
Good night, everybody. Just one stalk of wheat. His pants come down and Lana's like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, I thought that was just the human penis.
I wanted it to be special.